Welcome, welcome everybody. People are coming in, so I'm just giving it a second. You know how these Zooms work. We've all done this a few times now before, so I'm just watching as people roll in. We're just giving you all a little bit minute. You know, if you got to grab a glass of water, now's the time real quick. You're logging in, sitting down, keeping it easy. Welcome, welcome. Excellent, excellent. All right, I'm gonna get things started here. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2022 Brooklyn Public Library Book Prize celebration with the very kind people at Books Are Magic. We are here to celebrate libraries, independent bookstores, books, the freedom to read, and of course, fantastic, tremendous, award-winning authors. And we will hear from our winners a little bit later in the evening. Real quick, I just want to get a couple of logistics taken care of. Closed captioning is available. If you go down there to the More button, you can click the closed captioning button if you would like some closed captioning. A little bit about me. My name is Isaac Fitzgerald, and I am a card-carrying member of the Brooklyn Public Library. I also live not too far from the main branch, although I also kind of live close to the Park Slope branch, so I kind of go between the two of them. Libraries mean so much to me, which is why I'm so excited that we are all here to celebrate virtually tonight. I know they mean so much to so many, both of the librarians that work so hard there, but also those of us that use the services. And there's so many people here. I know there are Brooklyn Eagles here and all the work that you all do. So thank you so much for everything. The Brooklyn Public Library Book Prize is a prize that I adore, that I absolutely love, because it is chosen by librarians, by the folks that are in the stacks. They are the ones that choose the winners. So I just love this prize so much, because librarians are some of my favorite people. And because of that, I've hosted this award ceremony 5, maybe 6 times. I'm not really sure. I've done it a few times now, sometimes virtually, sometimes in person, but it's one of my favorite things to do. So thank you all so much for joining us here this evening. But now, without further ado, I'm so pleased to introduce someone who we all know so well, who works so tirelessly for the library, the Brooklyn Public Library President and CEO, Linda Johnson, who will tell us a little bit more about the Books Unbanned initiative that we are supporting right here tonight. Linda?
Thanks, Isaac. Wow, you've always been the most ebullient MC we've ever had, and I will verify that everything that you've said so far is 100% true. You live and breathe life, and you're part of our world, and for that we are really grateful. So thank you, and welcome everyone tonight. I'm thrilled to be with you all, celebrating such inventive and heartfelt books. Both of the winning titles poignantly deal with matters of identity, from race to class to sexual orientation. And it pains me to say that censorship is on the rise in our country, as Isaac mentioned, and that's why we're here tonight trying to raise money to combat that. There is an increasingly coordinated effort to prohibit certain subjects from being taught in classrooms or read about in public libraries. And it's an effort which silences marginalized and historically underrepresented voices and divides us, keeps us from learning to emphasize as we read about the experiences of others. This year alone, 137 bills have been introduced in 36 states that limits which books can be taught to students. In essence, legislation that is circumventing First Amendment rights. In fact, the 2 winning titles this evening could certainly end up on banned books list. I'm happy to say that so far so good. But the kind of books that are being banned are the books that people who are struggling with their own dilemmas and feeling isolated really need these days more than ever. In April, Brooklyn Public Library started a new program, Books Unbanned, to fight for readers, young and old, and preserve stories for all types. Through the initiative, youth who have been impacted by the alarming wave of book bans throughout the country can gain free access to Brooklyn Public Library's digital collection and learning databases. Demand for our digital collections is strong. Collectively, so far since April, we have issued 5,700 new e-card. We have 5,700 new e-card holders and who have checked out over 43,000 titles. These teens, people from 13 to 21, are borrowing books related to issues of sexuality and race, as well as titles on romance, history, even antiquing. Best of all, they are reading what they choose, planting the seeds for a lifetime of intellectual exploration. Combating censorship is at the core of libraries' work. It is as is connection. Through great works, we connect to each other, to ourselves, to new ideas, connection, even digital connection. This program is essential. Tonight's celebration is part of the Brooklyn Eagles Stay Home and Read campaign, which helps raise funds for Books Unbanned. And I'd like to thank the Brooklyn Eagles for their belief in BPL and in teens' freedom to read what they choose, and especially to our co-chairs, Dan Evans and Ron Nurwishaw. We are grateful to the Peck Stackpool Foundation for their generous support of the BPL Book Prize, and to Nancy and Chad Dickerson for their generous support of the Stay Home and Read campaign. Thank you to Books Are Magic for partnering. And of course, thank you to the librarians and library workers, my colleagues, for continuing to fight for writers and readers alike. In particular, thank you to Carl Fossum, Jess Harwick, and Robert Weinstein for leading the prize committee, and to Amanda Baker and Jess Gaffowitz and Emily Heath for their work on the subcommittees. And now, perhaps most importantly, enjoy the rest of your night, and thank you for being here.
Woo! Yeah. Sorry, I should have said that earlier. On virtual events, I just like to clap if you're in a place where you can do it. But thank you so much, Linda. And truly, the work y'all are doing is so important. As somebody that kind of grew up, certain part of my teenage years, I was in a very rural area, and I can only imagine what access like this could have helped shape me as an early reader. So it's so wonderful to hear that project, which was launched in April, is doing such tremendous work. So to everyone that's watching here tonight, we hope you'll chip in to help BPL and the Brooklyn Eagles reach their ambitious goal of $20,000 tonight. But here's the good news. We are almost there. We are right there. So please consider supporting the Books Unbanned initiative. And you can do it right now by going to BKLYN Library. That's BKLYNlibrary.org/stay-home-and-read. And also, if you're in the chat, you can obviously talk to one another, but you will also see some links posted there, so you can use those. I'll also tweet it out afterwards. There's plenty of ways to figure out how to donate, so please do that. But again, we're also here to celebrate librarians tonight. So I am so pleased to welcome our very own BPL librarian, Jess Harwick, who will tell us a little bit more about the BPL Book Prize. Jess is an assistant branch manager at BPL's McKinley Park branch and serves on the BPL Book Prize committee. Jess, thank you so much. Welcome.
Hi, thanks, Isaac, and thanks, Linda, for those comments earlier. I'm so excited to be here tonight. This prize is something that I'm very passionate about, very excited to do work on this committee. I've done it for a couple of years and now am a part of the steering committee with Robert and Carl. And we are so excited. The process of choosing these books actually starts about in February started in February of this year. And librarians and other library staff members get to nominate books. Anything that was published in between June of the year before and June of the current calendar year is eligible. That's the only criteria. We collect nominations, and there were over 50 books nominated this year that then the committee members actually got to read and evaluate and speak to their colleagues about and debate and have some really interesting conversations. We read some amazing books that didn't even make the long lists, and we're so excited to be celebrating these two that we really just thought rose above and beyond everything else that we read. We're also really proud that in the last couple of years, this prize isn't just awarded by librarians. It's actually, we opened it up to all staff members. Anybody who works in the library, anybody who works for Brooklyn Public Library is eligible to be on these committees. And we've worked really hard to make sure that staff across all titles are represented, because we want this book prize to not just represent librarians, but to represent our whole community, including our patrons, the people we serve, and the diverse people who work here at BPL. So we're really excited that there were staff members across multiple titles who were on the committees this year. There are about 20 staff members between the two committees. And they work in all sorts of titles, from our tech specialists to one of our bookmobile drivers has served on the committee, part-time workers, clerical staff members, and of course, librarians. It's a really awesome thing to be a part of and to hear everybody's perspectives on these books. We're also really excited that this is the first year that this is actually called the Brooklyn Book Prize. This seems like such a small thing, but this was something that we really advocated for because we wanted to take away the perception that this was an elite prize. This is a prize for the people who was selected by librarians. And we wanted this to be accessible and exciting for our patrons and not feel like this was another one of the super, almost, a word that we threw around a little bit was elite. That doesn't mean that these books aren't elite. They absolutely are. But we want everybody to be excited about reading them and not feel like this is a gate-kept award. We want everybody to be a part of this. So we were really excited about making this name change so that hopefully even more of our patrons will be excited about picking up these books, because we think that these two books really represent our community and that everybody is going to have something to love and learn in these books. I just wanted to speak for 1 second here about the two winners. I was delighted to serve on the nonfiction committee and actually be a part of choosing Ola Poppy, How to Come Out in a Walmart Parking Lot and Other Life Lessons by John Paul Brammer as our winner of this year's book prize for the nonfiction committee. This was a book that was so both delightful and funny and heartwarming and serious at times to read. It was a true joy. It was up against some other really amazing books, but this was the one that the committee just was immediately drawn to. From the moment that we first started talking about it, it was clear that this book was a standout and that we wanted to put it in as many hands as possible. And hopefully with this prize, we'll be able to do that. And then the winner of our fiction prize was Olga Dies Dreaming by Xochitl Gonzalez. I am so excited. This book is such a complicated, beautiful book about identity and family ties and what it means to find truth in yourself with a beautiful, amazing cast of characters. It's so easy to just get swept up in this writing and swept up in this world. And it's a truly delightful read as well. Again, this was one, I wasn't on this committee, but speaking to the committee members, they all really felt like it captured the spirit of Brooklyn, which is something we want to do with this prize, is capture the spirit of Brooklyn and find something that speaks to our communities. And we really believe that this book did that. So those are our two winners. And that's a little bit about the process of choosing these books and what it's like to be on these committees. And I'm so excited to be here with you tonight. I'm going to turn it back over to our authors because I'm as excited as you are, delighted to be in this virtual room with them and hear what they have to say tonight. So thank you and congratulations, Xochitl and John Paul.
Woo! Yes, yes. I just love that. Like, I love this prize so much. And now knowing that the committees are staffed by people, not just that are librarians, but that work throughout the branches at all different levels. I love that so, so much. Truly the Brooklyn Book Prize. That's such a cool move that you all made. And that makes these choices all the more special. I hope the winners are feeling really, really proud right now. And without further ado, on to the main event. It is my honor to introduce our 2022 winner in the fiction category for her New York Times best-selling novel, Olga Dies Dreaming, Xochitl Gonzalez. Xochitl, take it away.
Hi, oh my God, thank you. And thank you, Isaac. And I just want to say that was so weird to hear it said that way, because it's so beautiful to like have written this love letter to Brooklyn and know that it then had that reach. But I want to thank Linda, Jess, and all the librarians and staff who picked Olga Dies Dreaming for this award. To a Brooklyn girl like me, born and raised, it's literally one of the greatest honors I can think of. I wrote this as a love letter to the hometown that I knew, which was full of working class families and colorful characters that you met along the way from all walks of life. And it's so beautiful to hear that Brooklyn loves her back. And if there was one thing that I got wrong, it's to say that there are no libraries in this book, because the BPL and the staff there was absolutely, of course, now as my dog decides to behave badly, was absolutely a central part of my life and my family's life. I learned to read at the BPL. I filled out my college applications at the BPL. I got help with my FAFSA at the BPL. And that means so much to me. So thank you for all you do for Brooklyn, books, and beyond. Thank you to my agent Molly, my wonderful editor Megan, and everyone at Editor and Books, and also to my childhood friend Elena, who I met at the Mapleton branch of the Brooklyn Public Library when I was 12 years old, and who is my first and most devoted reader in everything that I write. And a giant thanks to John Paul, and congratulations on his wonderful book, and to Books Are Magic for organizing tonight. Thank you.
Woo! Xochitl. That's our fiction winner for the Brooklyn Book Prize. Sorry, I'm just gonna keep saying it a lot because it's a darn good name. And thank you so much for that lovely, lovely speech. And now for our 2022 winner in nonfiction, author and artist and just all around incredible human whose clothes sometimes I want to steal, but that's a story for another day. John Paul Brammer for his memoir and essays, absolutely incredible. Hola Papi, How to Come Out in a Walmart Parking Lot. Please, John Paul Brammer.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to start out by saying thank you, Isaac, Linda, Jess, Xochitl, who wrote an amazing book, and of course, the Brooklyn Public Library. As a kid in rural Oklahoma, libraries were my refuge. The library was where I felt safe and free to explore. And in an increasingly frightening world for vulnerable communities, it's more important than ever that we protect and sustain these quiet corners of the world where at least one little gay kid in Oklahoma felt allowed to bloom. I'm so grateful to celebrate the Brooklyn Public Library with you all today. Hola Papi is at its core the story of a person from an overlooked corner of the world desperate for connection. And so to be seen in this way means more than I could ever express. This was a book about growing up in the rural heartland and was written and fostered in Brooklyn and by Brooklyn. I feel so embraced by this city, its diversity and its creativity, and I can confidently say that there would be no Papi without Brooklyn. And so to hear that this book represents the people of this city and that it was chosen by librarians and the people who work with libraries is just so overwhelming. I don't even know how to express my gratitude. So I also just wanted to real quick thank my freshman English teacher, who happens to be my mom, as well as the rest of my wonderful, supportive family in the audience, my dad, my sister, my auntie who would kill me if she heard that I didn't thank her. And I'm excited to keep writing and to keep making you all proud. So thank you again.
Woo! Thank you, John Paul. And thank you, Xochitl. And just thank you so much for sharing your work, for sharing your stories. Thank you so much for being such wonderful community members. Again, I'm just going to say for all of you, if you are unfamiliar with their work, be sure to buy a copy. Be sure to get a copy from the Brooklyn Public Library. Take a copy out. Be sure you can find them on social medias. There's a newsletter. There's all these different ways to get in touch with and be a part of the community that these two wonderful writers are a part of. So don't sleep on that opportunity. I also want to again encourage you to give some money tonight for the Books Unbanned project. Again, there's links in the chat and there's a lot of different ways to get in touch. And don't forget to obviously go to your local branch, go to the Brooklyn Public Library, so that you can borrow some of these winning books and so many other ones, of course. And again, congratulations for the authors. I'm going to do it just one more time. I'm sorry. I just like to clap, especially in these weird virtual spaces. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And of course, thank you to Linda. Thank you to Jess, Harwick, and all the librarians that made this happen. And thank you to all the staff at the Brooklyn Public Library who helped make this happen and make fantastic moments and fantastic nights like this keep on keeping on. Thank you so much to everyone. And thank you, of course, to our Brooklyn Eagles. You all are the absolute best. We will see you all at the next Brooklyn Public Library event. It's one of my favorite things is how much this library is a part of the community, not above the community. I hope to see you at the next event soon. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming out. And thank you, Books Are Magic, who made this happen. Thank you, Books Are Magic.